Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on YouTube this evening for the Rising 8th Grade Registration Orientation. The focus of today's presentation will be on the course registration activities and getting prepared for your classes for your first year at BASA, which will be 8th grade. We are really excited to have you with us at BASA next year. You will be just the second group of students who will get to go all the way through BASA 8th through 12th grades. So we are really excited to have you be a special part of the BASA history. Again, our focus for this evening is all around course registration and making sure that you are signed up for the correct courses. And so we do have an agenda here. We will start out with a welcome and introductions. We will then talk about the 8th grade team and even see a picture of who those folks are. Dr. Murphy, our counselor, will be sharing some information with you about our crew program. Then we'll dive deep into the academic courses that are available, including what support programs we offer to students. High school credit courses are available to students when they are in the 8th grade, so we'll talk about that a little bit, as well as the middle school connections courses that are available to our 8th grade students. We will look forward and discuss the high school magnet programs that are available, because that's very important to consider when your student is planning their connections experience for 8th grade. Then we'll look at the registration process and change requests. We'll talk about student activities and athletics program. We will briefly describe our BYOT, Bring Your Own Technology program, and then we'll share some important information with you about our new student orientation. I do want to mention that if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to enter those in this short URL. So it's bit.ly/BASA VOQ. Again, that's bit.ly/BASA VOQ. So please take a look at that or open up that link rather, and enter any questions that you might have, because chances are if you're thinking it, someone else is thinking about it too. So first off, I would like to introduce everyone who's on the call. I'm Dr. Simpson, and I'm proud to serve as the principal at BASA. We also have Miss Watts, who is our assistant principal, on the call. So Miss Watts, if you can unmute and give us a wave.
Hi there.
And we have Mr. Latham Poozer, who is another assistant principal. And he is on the road this evening, but I know that he can say hello.
Oh, I just got home, so made it just in time.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone.
We also have Dr. Cheryl Guy, who's our Magnet and Academy coordinator.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
And last but definitely not least, we have our school counselor, Dr. Cindy Murphy.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
All right, so that's who you have here. This is our 8th grade team. These are the really special people that make everything happen with our 8th grade program. And so I'm just going to introduce them from left to right. We have Miss Paige Betts, and currently Miss Betts teaches math and science. We have Miss Tessier, who serves on our curriculum assistance team. We have Miss Nellie Brunson, and you see my cursor moving. Miss Brunson teaches Georgia Studies. We have Miss April Ballinger. She also teaches Georgia Studies. Mr. Rob Simpson is in the back here. He teaches mathematics. Miss Liberty New teaches social studies and language arts. Mr. Britt Gant teaches science. Miss McKendry Ramsell teaches math, including our high school credit math. Miss Gretchen Hollingsworth teaches science, including our high school physical science. And then Miss Washina Lyles teaches ELA, and she is also our 8th grade team leader. We also have Miss Kat Mills. She's typically the research and design specialist for our campus, but she is also on special assignment this semester, serving as an 8th grade ELA teacher. This is a dynamic team. They really care about their students. They love their content area. They all are very unique, and they bring different personalities and different skill sets to the table. And so our 8th grade students really are in great hands with this group of fine people. So in addition to who's on this call and our 8th grade team, I also wanted to take this opportunity to introduce our students because they are what we are all about, and they do a great job of introducing themselves and BASA and what BASA is all about. So I'm going to play this short video so that you can hear directly from them.
I chose to come to BASA because I knew I wanted to go down the medical field for my future. And so this offered me a unique opportunity to be able to prepare myself for that.
I saw an opportunity to be a part of a brand new school and organization that I most likely would not have gotten anywhere else.
It's an amazing school. I saw it for the first time and I was like, wow. I chose to come to BASA because of the pathway that I chose, and I chose the fine art pathway because music has been something that I've loved since I was a little kid. It seemed like a really cool opportunity since I want to be in the performing arts as my career.
Well, I felt this was a better opportunity for our school and my life.
I chose to come to BASA for dance performing arts.
I just instantly saw an opportunity because I could come here and I could focus on what I wanted to do.
I think the atmosphere is great here. The teachers are really good. Everything is just cleaner, like the layout is good. It's like a mini college almost.
There's a lot more opportunities that you couldn't get going to any other normal high school.
Students should choose BASA because it focuses on their future careers, and instead of just teaching them everything, that they really, just the basics of everything, where they can actually learn extensive knowledge.
Everybody who's here wants to be here, and it just completely changes the environment.
I love coming here.
The pathway that I chose is healthcare sciences.
I'm part of the cross-country team and the soccer team.
I chose the healthcare pathway because I want to be a vet when I grow up.
I'm in audio and visual and culinary.
I love engineering and math and science and technology, and I can all just have it in one package by going the STEM pathway.
I would like to be involved in Beta and the soccer club.
I chose the healthcare pathway because I'm interested in going into the nursing field.
I'm actually involved in dance club, and I enjoy doing it. I chose the healthcare pathway because I love being able to help people and see people grow. We're hoping to start a gymnastics team.
I'm currently doing the HOSA healthcare program. I'm in the yearbook club for the school and the competitive cheerleading.
Junior Beta club, and I'm in drama club.
I'm on the cross-country team and a part of HOSA.
I myself wanted to become a veterinarian, and I heard that they had a good medical group, so instantly it was a win for me.
My favorite thing about BASA is probably how organized and productive everything here is, because I've been to other schools and it isn't as neatly put together as it is here.
But I'd have to say the community. Everyone here is just ready to learn, and no one's doing too much of none. So, and it's really fun here.
I really like that there's not a lot of people here, so it's a very intimate setting.
I really like how we have the different career pathways, and you can choose that and use that for your classes, and it prepares you for your future career.
I have really good teachers. Miss Ridgway is probably my favorite teacher.
I love the layout of the campus. It's so beautiful, and I like that it's more set up like a college rather than a high school. I can never say enough how much I love the environment here.
My favorite thing about BASA is the fact that they include everyone.
My favorite thing about BASA is probably the students and the teachers. They're way better than any other school that I've been to.
The smaller classes allow you to have more opportunity to bring your grades up and to have a better understanding of the material that you're learning. Dance, I love dancing. So I look forward to in class to come to dance.
There's a lot more freedom than you would get going to a normal high school.
Compared to my old middle school, BASA has more freedom, and I love it so much. I love the fact that people actually want to be here, and they're coming willing to learn, and they want to know things, not to mess around.
I could do so many different things here that I would just love to look at. I mean, I can learn to weld, I can learn to be a carpenter, anything.
It's about what you want to do with your life and how you're going to do in the future.
It helps you find yourself in ways that I never thought it could.
Well, I apologize if there was some video lag. I heard that there may have been. You will have access to this presentation afterward, and so I really do encourage you to play that if you were not able to experience the whole video, because our students really do a great job of capturing what we're all about here at BASA. And so again, you'll get access to this presentation, and I encourage you to play it. One word that keeps coming up over and over at BASA is opportunity. And I think that's what our students really love about our campus is that right here, they can, as Kay said, they can learn how to weld, they can take advanced level AP courses, they can take dual enrollment academic courses, they can learn guitar or piano and take world languages. And so to have so many opportunities on one campus is really quite unprecedented. Now, with that said, and we'll get to this a little bit further later, our eighth graders certainly are working up to all of those opportunities, but it's a great introduction to high school. It's a great introduction to BASA, and the eighth grade experience is most definitely connected to our 9th through 12th grade experience as well. Oops. Sorry about that. So in looking specifically at our 8th grade team, our bell schedule is to the right. And so our students begin a period, as we call it, Core A, at 7:45. They have about 70 minutes per class period. And then midday, they have crew, which we will explain a little bit further later. And that's for 30 minutes. Of course, they are also offered a lunch. They're dismissed around 2:55 for bus riders and 3:05 for car riders. They do have those classes all year long, and so they are getting additional instructional time throughout the year because we have 70-minute classes as opposed to 55-minute classes, which we think is really a benefit to our students. It helps them get more access to the teacher, more tutoring opportunities, expanded learning time for project-based learning, and other innovative learning opportunities. We also have a team structure to make sure that our school feels small in the 8th grade especially. And so all of the students on your child's team share a group of teachers. So those teachers are able to meet and discuss specific students and their needs and support them across all of our classes. So they are, contained in that little smaller unit or family as well. We also have an 8th grade only floor and classes. So just so that you're aware, our 8th grade students do not take classes with high school students. They only take classes with other 8th graders, including if they're getting a high school credit in physical science or algebra 1, and also during connection. So when they go to chorus, there are only 8th grade students in their chorus classes. We also have a special floor. Sometimes we affectionately call it the nest. And so the 8th grade nest up there on the 2nd floor of the academic building is primarily 8th grade. And so most students up there in the restrooms and the study areas are 8th grade students. We do focus on project-based learning and arts integration. I apologize. It appears that we're having a technical difficulty. So Cindy, I see you on my screen. Are you able to see the presentation, the slide? Okay, excellent. So we do focus in our classes on project-based learning and arts integration, and our teachers work collaboratively on that. So over the next semester, each 8th grade team will be planning an interdisciplinary project-based learning experience, and that's one that connects English language arts and math and science and social studies, and they're all addressing a real world problem. Many of our teachers are also trained in arts integration through Arts Now Learning, which is one of our partners. And so many times, for example, earlier in the school year, Ms. Hollingsworth's students learned the various parts of a cell using dance. And so they were outside learning in a different way, but learning in a powerful way and an engaging one. We also have many opportunities for our students to take connections. And those opportunities are expanded here at BASA. They're able to take more fine arts and career electives courses as an 8th grader on our campus than really anywhere else. So I do want to pause for just a moment and remind you, if you have any questions that are coming up in your mind, we do have that short code, short URL at the bottom of every page. So bit.ly/BASA VOQ. We may not be able to answer all of those on screen, but if you include your contact information, we will certainly send you an email as well. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Murphy so that she can share information about something that I consider to be very important and the most important thing that we do at BASA, which is crew.
Thank you, Dr. Simpson. So I am Dr. Murphy. I'm the counselor, and I am going to talk to you for just a minute about crew. It's kind of important that we start with this because this is really like the heartbeat of our school, and we really think that this is so important because this is about connection of students. At your other middle school, you may have an advisement program, which is what our crew is, but it's a lot more than that. We really want to make sure that every student in our school is connected to a trusted adult and to a group of students so that they feel like that they belong someplace in our school. We have a big school with 8th grade, 9th, 10th, and 11th next year, and we want to make sure everybody feels like that they have a home. So our crew is really our home base. It will be with a teacher in 8th grade, which is somewhat like a homeroom, but it's a place where they can gather information, a place where we disseminate information to students that's school-wide. It's also a place where we have fun and do games with our crew. And it's also a place where we talk about things that are important to us. And we also do some social emotional learning in our crew. Our crew meets every day at 11:30, and that is school-wide. So every student in our school is meeting with a crew from 11:30 to 12 every day, and each crew is about 10 to 12 students. So every adult in the building is working with a group of students. And so we wanted to make it small so that people feel comfortable, they can connect with everybody, and they can feel like that they have some people to turn to if there is a time of need. Again, it is a place where we teach different skills. We are excited that we just received a grant to implement the 7 mindsets, which is a social emotional curriculum, which we will be starting out this spring and as well doing next year. So we are very excited about having that curriculum. Students are only in a crew with other 8th grade students so that they can meet people in their grade. When they leave 8th grade, they graduate and move into a high school crew, which we're going to have that like a graduation ceremony, and then they move into another crew in high school. And in that crew, they will stay there with that same crew and that same crew leader from 9th to 12th grade. So again, we really feel like that this is a place where students feel connected. Students love going to crew. They connect with their crew leader. You may also hear a lot from your crew leader because a lot of times if we're doing registration or there's different things where people are reaching out to you about your student, it may come from your crew leader. So know that it may not necessarily be me, the counselor or administration, that it really may be your crew leader that's reaching out because those people are the advocate for your student. We feel really strongly about this. This is this, like I said, the backbone of our school, and we are really excited to implement this program.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. All right, academic courses. So like any other school, our 8th grade students are taking those core academic classes, which include courses in language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. So the difference is not in what the students are learning, but more so in how they learn it. And so we have an enhanced focus here in 8th grade, but also in 9th through 12th grade as well, on preparing students for their future goals for 21st century success through innovative and project-based learning. In our 8th grade program, we also integrate the arts. As I mentioned earlier, we are partnered with Arts Now Learning because that enhances that learning experience for our students as well. And so again, all of our students are learning the same standards as any other 8th grader in the state of Georgia. It's just how they're learning them and what we emphasize that is different. We also offer advanced and on-level courses to our students. Students who are identified as gifted are served in those advanced courses, but also any student who demonstrates strong levels of achievement through their grades, their MAP scores, through their Georgia Milestones assessments. We look at all of that data in order to determine the students that we need to place in those advanced level courses. At this point, I'm going to ask Ms. Watts to speak about the support programs that are also available to our 8th grade students in middle school, but also when they enter the 9th grade and beyond.
Okay, we do want all students to feel welcome and to feel supported, and so we do have several programs in place for that to happen. We have ESOL, which is English for speakers of other languages. And so we also have remedial education program, special education, and 504s. And so we have many different things that are set up to help with different accommodations that are needed. If a student needs small group and extended time, or if they need reading assistance, if it's on a biology test or something, we have those in place through their IEP or through their 504 or through their ESOL accommodations. And so we just want to make sure that everyone knows that everyone is welcome at BASA.
Absolutely, you are. We have great support personnel that are there standing ready to help any student who needs it, including those who are served and receive accommodations and support through these special programs. We also offer students the opportunity to pursue high school credits while in the 8th grade. We currently offer 2 early high school courses, including Algebra 1 and Physical Science. Again, those courses are taught by our 8th grade teachers, but they are certified in those areas and they follow the same curriculum as if the student were taking it with one of our 9th grade teachers. Algebra 1 is typically the 9th grade math course, and so that by taking that and earning that credit, they are moving forward on the course sequence, jumping ahead a bit, and the same goes for Physical Science. We do ask parents and students to keep in mind that these courses may impact your child's Hope GPA and their overall transcript, and so it is a big decision about whether to take Algebra 1 or Physical Science while still in the 8th grade. And so we want to partner with you on that. We've reached out to all of the middle schools that your children are coming from, and we've gotten course recommendations from their current teachers about what level they should be placed in, a regular course, an advanced level course, or one of these early high school courses. And so we will share those recommendations with you. We'll talk a little bit more about that process soon, but we also want to open it up to your feedback. And so you can certainly request a change. Maybe if the teacher recommended that your child go into the early high school course, you can recommend that they go back to advanced, or maybe they recommended them for advanced, but you would like them to be considered for the early high school courses. The ultimate decision rests with the BASA administration and counseling department. We just want to look at all of the data to make sure that your child is best prepared to succeed with those early high school courses. We also offer lots of connections courses. If your child is coming to us from outside of Barrow County, you may not know what the term connections course means, but essentially it's an elective course that our middle school students are taking. Each 8th grade student gets to take 2 connections courses per year. Those are year-long courses, and they rotate on an A-day, B-day basis. And so on Monday would be an A-day, so they would have their first connections. Tuesday would be a B-day, they would have their second connection. We encourage, and this is really important and why we will go through the high school magnet programs this evening, we really encourage our 8th grade families to choose their connections courses wisely. You want to try out something that you're considering going into a magnet program for when you're in high school, just to make sure that that's the right fit. But we also want you to choose something that you're really interested in and passionate about. So, just one example would be guitar/piano 8th grade connection. You may have no aspirations of going into music as a career, but if that's something that you're interested in and passionate about, that's just as important. And so we want you to pursue that. So balance your interests and your career goals when you're choosing your connections. These are our tentative offerings for next school year. Keep in mind, scheduling will ultimately dictate which one of these we're able to offer. We may have to reduce some from the list, but currently we plan to offer band, biomedical science, which is healthcare, chorus, culinary arts, dance, digital media, which is a hybrid video, audio, video technology and film and graphic design course, drama, guitar/piano, music technology, which the students actually create music digitally, PE, STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and visual arts. Your students, we will talk about this process a little bit later, but your students did let their existing teachers at the middle schools know what 2 connections they wanted to take. And I believe you also indicated that on the application. And so we will send a draft list of the course requests home, but we do have that list started. You'll still get some feedback in the end, though. Shifting gears to talk about the high school magnet programs. Again, the reason that we're bringing this up now is because we want you to plan your middle school connections courses around what you're interested in pursuing when you get into high school. So we currently have 6 magnet programs. The first one is art and design, with several majors there, including 2D and 3D visual arts, graphic design, and photography. In biomedical science, we have allied health, research and biotech, sports medicine, and veterinary science. Notice that column all the way to the right. There are college credits available at Sims Academy, so should your child choose in high school to study biomedical science, then they could actually get their CNA or start even a pre-nursing program at Sims Academy through the dual enrollment program. We also offer hospitality and culinary arts, including culinary arts, hospitality and tourism, which is a marketing pathway, and sustainable agriculture, which focuses on a farm to table type of situation. Media arts includes animation and digital media, audio, video, technology and film, graphic design, and photography. In our performing arts area, we have band, chorus, dance, drama, and music technology. We also have electives available in guitar and piano. And then finally, our STEM magnet program, again, stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, includes majors in architecture, computer science, cybersecurity, engineering, game design and development, and mechatronics. So as you can see, we have a whole host of magnet programs and majors that your child will be able to pursue once they're in high school. And so use those 8th grade connections courses as the opportunity to try out some of these areas so that they'll have a better idea of what to register for when they reach high school. I'm going to pause it right there for just a moment. Ms. Watts, do we have any questions that you feel like need to be answered for the good of the group?
We do have a few. So one question is, when we move up to 9th grade, will we have classes with upperclassmen?
I'm sorry, you broke out near the mid part of that. Say that one more time.
Sorry, it says a student's asking, when we move up to 9th grade, will we have classes with upperclassmen?
Oh, good question. Sometimes that does happen. You know, typically your academic courses would be with other students in the same grade level, but there are times where, you know, a junior, an 11th grade student may decide that they want to take Visual Art 1 and try something new and may end up in class with you. So definitely our 9th through 12th graders do have classes together, particularly in the elective areas.
Okay. Another person wrote, can you name some of the connections you offer for the 8th graders? But you've already done that. I think that came before that slide. So is this slide presentation available to them?
Oh, most definitely. So this will be emailed out on the same list that we emailed out the links and announcements, and it'll also be available on our website. Okay.
Last question. Can I ask one more?
Okay.
Oh, actually, I got another one. So it says, do you feel your 8th grade classes are harder than the middle school, regular middle school, or basically on the same level and standards of learning?
I wouldn't say they're harder. I also wouldn't say that they're the same. I think they're different. How they're taught is different. And so, again, with integrating the arts, including visual arts, dance, music into those areas, I feel like our students are more engaged because they're more active. You know, if you go to any classroom at BASA, I'm not sure that you'll see a whole lot of students sitting at the desk just listening, at least not for very long. Typically, that may start out a lesson, but then the students are active. And we also focus a lot on project-based learning, students collaborating with each other. So I don't think it's harder. I don't think it's the same either, though. I think it's just a different learning experience, and one that'll prepare them very well for their future career. You know, when you talk about communication and collaborating with others, that skill is transferable and it'll last for years and years to come. And we start instilling that right away in our 8th graders.
I'm going to do one more and then we'll get to the other ones in a minute. But this one says, so about the connections, when I registered, I'm not sure I remember what connections I picked. I'm focusing on performing arts, but I'm worried I didn't pick the right connections. Do we have the opportunity to double check our connections or change them before the year starts?
Yes, so that's actually a great segue into the registration process. So your child's teachers from their current middle school submitted recommendations for academics, and we received the connections recommendations or requests directly from your application. In mid-February, you will be receiving an email that has a PDF of your child's course recommendations so that you can confirm that they are 100% correct. You could also reply to that email and ask for any changes. So if you get the message and for some reason it has chorus, but you requested dance, or maybe your child has changed their mind or you've changed your mind, then you can actually request changes at that time. To connections or academics. So for example, you know, maybe we've placed your child based on their current teacher's recommendation in advanced, but you would rather than be in a regular class, then you can reply and just let us know at that time. If you disagree, again, you are the parent. And so we want you to be involved in helping us to determine what's most appropriate for your student in terms of the levels of classes that they're taking. With that said, we will take your input, we will take their previous teacher's input, we'll look at all of their prior grades and performance data in order to find the best possible setting. And your child, will receive their final schedule near the beginning of summer is when we will send those out, and that will be via parent portal. So it's very important that you know your Infinite Campus login information because that's how that'll be communicated. Does that answer that previous question, Ms. Watts, about requesting changes?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. All righty, so I'm now going to turn it over to Mr. Pooser so he can talk about the athletics and activities available, the unique athletic and activity opportunities available at BASA for our 8th grade students.
Thank you, Dr. Simpson. Again, my name is Lathan Pooser. I'm the assistant principal and also the athletic director at BASA. And I'm very excited to speak to you tonight about the athletics and also the extracurricular activities that are available to our 8th graders. So one of the things I want to talk about is just that all 8th graders are eligible to participate in all of our JV sports programs that we offer at BASA. And unlike your middle schools, you know, you guys are limited to about maybe 6, maybe 7 different sports programs. At BASA, we offer 12. And so as an 8th grader, you have access to all 12 of the programs that we have because they have JV programs, and we have been granted special permission from the Georgia High School Association to have our 8th graders participate at the JV level. So any sport, excluding football, basketball, or track, or lacrosse that you can think of, we probably have it here at BASA. So that's very exciting for us and very unique to us as well. 8th graders are also guaranteed 1 more year of sports eligibility than most students who attend traditional high schools. So for example, as an 8th grader, you will have the opportunity to participate at the JV level. So you probably maybe have 2 or 3 years at JV before going up to varsity. In most middle schools, students aren't allowed to participate at the JV level. So again, it gives you more time to really, hone your skills in the particular sport of interest. And, those of you who have aspirations of going to the next level, to college, to participate in college athletics, again, that's just one more year that gets you ready for that. So again, BASA eighth graders particularly have a very unique opportunity to really, develop their skills in athletics. And we also offer activities that are not sports specific. So for example, we have students who may have interest in dance or drama or mountain biking, or we have a running club that we just started. So something that may not necessarily deal directly with JV or varsity sports, we have those too. And so we have a long list of activities and clubs that you as eighth graders can be a part of. But also if there's something that you are really interested in and that we don't have currently, it's very simple to contact myself or maybe even reach out to maybe another teacher who you think may be interested in that activity that you are, so that we can organize and develop a plan so that we can potentially get that on campus. So we pride ourselves in trying to have unique opportunities and experiences for our students. And these are just some of the ways that we try to do that. Our BASA Athletics Booster Club. So this organization is strictly to support our athletic programs here at BASA. And so we are very excited that we will hopefully within the next month be starting our membership drive for the Athletic Booster Club. And so you will be getting more information the Booster Club very soon as we get that finalized. But I did want to highlight the Booster Club contact information, which is on the slide. So if you do have any questions about becoming a member or volunteering or even just, maybe being a corporate sponsor, those of you who have businesses, definitely feel free to reach out to any one of these individuals that you see on the screen, and they will give you the information necessary for you to, do such that.
Thank you, Mr. Cruiser.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then lastly, we have a plug for our new student orientation. This will be held each summer to welcome our new students and families to BASA. And this is where you'll learn everything that you need to start the year off smooth. And so that's everything from logistics, including meals, transportations, bell schedules, and everything in between. Note that this year we are not sure if this program will be held in person or digitally. We do hope that it will be held in person so that you will be able to come in and your child can come in to see the space and get a full tour of our facility. So for that reason, we're asking you to stay tuned for dates and details on that. Again, we know that it will be held this summer, but we're unsure of the exact date or whether we will be able to hold that in person or digitally. So you will receive communication from us the same way that you receive the invitation to this event, and that is via your email that's listed in the Infinite Campus. If you are a new student coming to us next year for 8th grade and you have not yet registered with the Barrow County School System and filled out all of your enrollment paperwork and turned in all of your required documents, I do encourage you to do that as soon as possible. That way you will be included on all of those messages that we send out. At this point, we're still working off of our application list, but over the next month or so, we will begin sending out communications to enrolled students via Infinite Campus. So if you have any questions about how to get that taken care of, just send me an email and I'll be happy to put you in touch with the appropriate staff to get you started. And lastly, I'm going to ask Ms. Watts to come back on screen here and let us know about any additional questions that you have received.
Okay, so one of the questions was, what sports do we offer? And I know Mr. Pooser touched on that. Do you want to go and elaborate any further?
I think Mr. Poozer covered it, but I just want to underscore what he said, that 8th graders at BASA have more opportunities to participate in athletics than at pretty much any other middle school that I've seen. Most recently, our soccer team got off to a great start. The ladies team tied with Jasper County, and the boys team defeated Jasper County 8-0. And so I was talking with the coaches afterward. Jasper County High School has been around for a long time. They have a very established program. We're a brand new school with a brand new program. So I asked our coaches, not the Jasper County coaches, but our coaches, what percentage of our students on this team are 8th graders? And their response was about 50%. About 50% of our 8th grader, or our soccer team, excuse me, are in the 8th grade. And yet they defeated and tied a very established program. We have phenomenal coaches. If your child is into athletics, this is the place for them to come and interact with those coaches and work with them and get that extra year that Mr. Poozer shared with you.
Okay. There's another question that says, are the crew leaders teachers from the students' team?
Oh, good question. So no, not exactly. We actually have high school teachers that also serve as 8th grade crew leaders. So actually, no, it may just work out that way. But chances are you will have a crew leader that is not one of your actual teachers.
Okay. And then how many students are there per class?
Our class maximum is just what you would experience at any school. And so that maximum usually falls around 30, but we like to keep our numbers in the mid-20s as much as possible. I think I may have lost you, Miss Watts. Can you hear me? Okay, well, I think that was all of the questions that are have been asked on that document. If you put your contact information, we will also reach out to you by email to respond to any questions that you may have. Any students who are listening, I cannot tell you enough how excited that we are to welcome you to BASA next year. It really is a great place to be. It's a great place to learn. It's a great place to build friendships and connections that will last you for a long, long time. So we cannot wait to see you over the summer for our new student orientation. Again, we hope that that's in person, and hope that you finish out the rest of this school year strong. And we will see you in the summer for orientation, hopefully again in person, and then for sure at the start of school in August. So as I end every morning announcement, go Blazers. Y'all have a great evening.